Hey, it's Denise. I just wanted to do a quick review because I haven't read them all the way through. I just did a little bit of reading last night to get a feel for the books. These are two books that I ordered through Tamed Wild. Spelled like it sounds, T-A-M-E-D, separate word, W-I-L-D. Now, Tamed Wild sells books, candles, things for your altar, a bunch of different spiritual type materials. I personally had never purchased from them before, so these books were my first purchase. And once I saw, you know how it is when you order from a new site and it's not a site you've heard of or necessarily a friend has ordered from before. You don't want to jump in with a major purchase until you're sure that they're legitimate. So yes, I went ahead and ordered, which I totally overreached, these two books. They do come in a set of 8. I didn't have it in my budget to get all 8 at once, so I went ahead and just ordered the 2. And let me tell you a little bit about them. As you can see on the spines, they are a Yule and Samhain book. I did not even know when I ordered them that they are published by Llewellyn, which is a publisher that, if you saw my calendar review, that's a publisher that I'm very familiar with, and I'm sure a lot of people who read neo-pagan literature are familiar with Llewellyn Publishing. So I didn't even start on Yule yet. I just started on Samhain, and obviously that's just a chronological order thing. I mean, it is the end of September. I like the amount, think about it, it's just on one holiday, which in your average book could get glanced over in a page or two. I like the amount of detail that they go into in these books. They sort of break it down into past and present, lots of historical background on the holidays, how they started pre-Christian, then how the Christian influence is such a gentle word for what the Christians did. And I'm not holding that against modern day Christians, but the slaughter of tons of people just because they didn't want to give up their religion was kind of brutal. Anyway, I digress. The books go into lots of detail, also by breaking it down into different areas. So geographical areas, what was happening in Ireland, Scotland, Wales was different than what was happening in Italy or the Ukraine or Mexico. And they really do break down how the traditions were different in different places and how the changes that the Catholic Church was making to try to get rid of the old celebrations, how in some ways it changed them, in some ways it solidified them because people were just like, no, we're not getting rid of this celebration. And it also goes into how just the passage of time and modernization has changed some. For example, to Wiccans, Samhain, Halloween, All Hallows Eve, whatever you choose to call it, it's a religious, spiritual holiday. Now, that doesn't mean we can't enjoy games and fun and going to a costume party and during COVID, we're not going to be having trick-or-treaters, but, ordinarily seeing kids out, in the street in costumes, trick-or-treating. And, it sort of goes into that duality of what is a religious holiday to someone, sort of like for the Christians, how Christmas, they're wanting to celebrate the birth of Jesus, even though they're doing it in December because they tried to take over Yule by saying, hey, let's say Christ was born in December, even though all, at this point, serious theological scholars have pretty much agreed that Christ was born in the spring, and that the decision to put his birthday right around the winter solstice was to try to switch the celebration from being a winter solstice celebration to being a celebration of the birth of Christ. Now, as I've mentioned before, I was raised by Catholics, so I grew up celebrating Christmas. And for a long time, my kids celebrated both. At home, we celebrated Yule and visit my parents, and they'd celebrate Christmas. So I have no problem with that. But the books go into like a lot of detail of teaching people about the different influences that, how we moved from the pre-Christian holidays through Christianity, through the neo-pagan sort of rebirth of celebrating the old ways, some of which never died out in certain countries. Certain traditions carried on. Others sort of died out and were brought back. Gives you tons of the historical perspective. I also loved that it then went on to sort of today, what we do with the holidays. And again, it broke it down sort of by what type of neo-pagan you consider yourself, what type of witch you consider yourself, what other religion you might consider yourself, and how in those particular traditions it's often celebrated. Goes on with recipes, decorating ideas, craft ideas, activities that you can do to celebrate the holidays, plenty of spellwork suggestion for the different holiday and time of year. So these little books pack a lot of information, which I think is great, because like I said, a lot of books will, kind of talk about the wheel of the year, and maybe each holiday gets a couple pages. But if you want a more in-depth look, like really from a historical perspective and how modern witches celebrate the holidays, these books really are looking like a great read. From what I read so far, lots and lots of information. So, like I said, I so far have only purchased 2. I've got this one first, like I said, because it's only, we're talking next month. And then I got this one. And I then went ahead, once these arrived yesterday, and I was like, okay, this company, Tamed Wild, is obviously legit. So I went ahead and I did order their subscription box. Now, if you follow my other channel at all, you'll know that I do a lot of unboxings. Now, I have, for a while, I subscribed to Globin, Causebox, FabFitFun. I've done gardening-specific subscription boxes. I've done Treatsy, which is a snack food-related subscription box. I've tried a bunch of subscription boxes and done unboxings and reviewed them. So I was getting down to the last, I think I have one more FabFitFun. I think I have the winter box. Not 100% sure. Pretty sure I have one more left in that subscription. So I was looking for an inexpensive subscription box, and now their box is just a few items. It looks like generally, and again, subscription boxes tend to vary from month to month, but it seems like their box basically will have a theme, will have perhaps some tea, some incense, maybe a candle, maybe some sort of item for your altar or some other item that's going to be used in a ritual, and there'll be an intention sort of as the theme of the box. It's a monthly box. The box is $20, and it's then $5 shipping. So really, it's $25 a month. So now I ordered yesterday, which was October, look at me getting ahead of myself, September 26th. So they said I would still be getting the September box. I did the 3-month prepay, so I paid for 3 months worth at one time. And I figured 3 months is a good trial because you can get one box. You know, every once in a while with a subscription, you might get one that you're just like, meh. So I don't feel like you can judge completely just on one unless you get it and it's just utter crap. In which case, you know, you'd be like, no, I'm canceling this. But I figured a 3-month trial was a good amount of time to try it before committing to anything longer. Now, it is one of those, it will auto-renew, so you need to contact them before, pretty much the second you get the last one. If you decide you want to cancel, you would want to cancel then. You don't want to wait till it's getting close to the next one shipping, or else you are going to be billed for the next cycle. And that's pretty standard with the subscription box industry, I would say. So really no surprises there as far as how the subscription box works. And when I get my first one, I will definitely do a review. But in the meantime, I just wanted to give a quick glance at these 2 books, which I will definitely be buying the remainder of the 8-book set, you know, because, like I said, the amount of information that they've accumulated is just so much more than you usually get, you know, the standard overview of the holiday you might get in a general book explaining Wiccan or pagan practice. And the fact that they've devoted an entire book to the history and present celebrations of each holiday, I think is fantastic. It just really deepens your knowledge on each holiday, and to me that deepens your appreciation of the holiday. So if you're someone who likes more details, more history, I would definitely suggest checking these out. I got them through Tamed Wild is the name of the company, and I imagine you could probably, being that they're published by Llewellyn, you could probably find them in other places. That's just where I got them. But yes, if you are interested in getting deeper into the history, deeper into the lore associated with it, then I would say check these out. Have a great day. Thank you for watching my video. Please hit that like, subscribe, and feel free to share with anyone who you think is like-minded and might enjoy the content. And hit the notification bell. I'm still working out why YouTube won't accept anything from my phone, so that's why we're still sitting in my bedroom. But as soon as I have that straightened out, we will be back to filming without the distraction behind me, and I'll like that better, and I think you'll like that better. So, have a great day. Blessed be. Hit the like and subscribe. Thanks very much. Have a wonderful day.